Practice session. These practices, mate, they're like a kangaroo finding its best hop. Once you've got it, you're unstoppable.
Couldn't have put it better. Finding the perfect launch is all about repetition and adjustments.
Now, here's a term some might not be familiar with: roll bar stiffness. Sounds technical, doesn't it?
It does, but in essence, it's about how the car reacts to lateral forces, especially during cornering. Adjusting the roll bar can change how the car behaves mid-corner. A softer setting can be more forgiving, but a stiffer one might give the driver a quicker response, albeit with less margin for error.
And away goes Rob Keane, charging down Lavin straight like a bull at a gate. This lap's where they set the tone for the session.
Indeed, Rob. It's about laying down a marker, seeing how the car responds when they dial everything up to 11. They're testing the waters, but also setting their own benchmarks.
With just 434 minutes left before we move to qualification, there is not long left for these drivers to finish their preparations. Rob Keane's first flyer is a solid start, clocking in at 351.485. They're getting a feel for the track, but there's room to shave off a few more seconds.
Absolutely, Rob. It's all about finding those little tweaks, adjusting the line here, braking a tad later there. Every lap is a learning curve.
There's the first flying lap for Eric Wolfs, hitting 206.204. It's a start, but they'll be looking to iron out those kinks as they get more laps under their belt.
Right on, Rob. It's early in the session, so there's plenty of time to experiment and find those extra tenths of a second.
Megasaurus 55's first serious lap is in the books with a time of 4:36.755. Good effort, but I'm expecting them to really push the envelope in the next few laps.
Yeah, it's about building that momentum, Rob. Fine-tuning their approach with each turn, each lap, getting more out of the car and themselves.
Eric Wolfs has a best lap time of 1:46.015. Eddie G has a best lap time of 1:47.516. Mr. Bang crosses the line with their first flyer, clocking a 150.338. They're getting to grips with Goodwood, feeling out its quirks and corners.
It's like the first round of a chess match, Rob. They're making their opening moves, setting up for the later, faster laps where they'll really show their hand.
It's a bit like looking for water in the outback. These drivers are searching for that sweet rhythm, where everything just clicks.
Spot on. It's that elusive flow state. When everything syncs up, the car, the track, the driver, that's when magic happens.
Alright, Eddie G has put down a 147.516. It's a decent benchmark, but I reckon there's more juice to squeeze out of that Reliant Supervan 3.
For sure, Rob. It's early days. They're just starting to sync up with the track. We'll likely see those times tumble as they dial in.
Eric Wolf's first flyer is a solid start, clocking in at 147.596. They're getting a feel for the track, but there's room to shave off a few more seconds.
Absolutely, Rob. It's all about finding those little tweaks, adjusting the line here, braking a tad later there. Every lap is a learning curve.
Rob posted a 303.766 on their last lap. How will they do on this one? There's the first flying lap for Mr. Bang, hitting 149.158. It's a start, but they'll be looking to iron out those kinks as they get more laps under their belt.
Right on, Rob. It's early in the session, so there's plenty of time to experiment and find those extra tenths of a second.
Get ready for some high-octane action as the drivers take on the challenge of qualifying at Goodwood.
This is where champions are made, and the stakes couldn't be higher.
Eddie G has positioned themselves well in second during qualifying. The challenge now is to assess their competitors and strategize how to move up the order for a better race start. It's an impressive showing by Jack M team, currently in third. They've showcased their talent, but will they be able to find those crucial extra tenths of a second to climb higher? Impressive display by Rob, currently sitting in position 6. They've set a competitive time, but the question remains whether they can push even harder to secure a better starting position.
I couldn't agree more, Rob. Rob Keane has done a fantastic job to claim 6th. The challenge now is to convert this opportunity into a strong race result.
And there goes Eddie G, currently in position 3. They've shown great skill and consistency so far, but with a few minutes left, there's still time to improve their result. Currently in 6th, Megasaurus 55 has displayed promising speed during the qualifying session. The real test lies in whether they can convert this performance into a higher grid position.
Couldn't agree more, Rob. Megasaurus 55 has positioned themselves impressively in 6th. Now, they need to build on this foundation and strive for an even better race result.
Megasaurus 55 has completed their outlap. A solid qualifying performance by Eddie G, positioning them in 5th at the moment. Eddie G has completed their outlap. Mr. Bang has put in a great effort and currently holds 2nd. With the session winding down, can they unleash their full potential and improve their starting position?
Spot on analysis, Rob. Mr. Bang has positioned themselves well in 2nd. It's now crucial for them to maintain their focus and defend their position in the...
Mr. Bang has completed their outlap. There are just over 10 minutes left in this qualification session. Megasaurus 55 has completed their outlap. A strong showing from Mr. Bang as they currently sit in 5th. With the session drawing to a close, they'll need to dig deep and find that extra burst of speed to improve. Mr. Bang has completed their outlap. Eddie G has secured a respectable 5th in the qualifying session. Can they capitalize on this position and use it as a launching pad for a stronger race performance?
Absolutely, Rob. Eddie G has shown great potential to secure 5th. It's now a matter of channeling that momentum into a strong performance during the race.
Eddie G has just completed that lap in 1:44.023. Their best lap so far is 1:44.023. Putting them in P2. Will they be able to hold on to that spot? What a performance from Mr. Bang. They currently occupy 6th on the grid. Can they maintain this strong position and secure a favorable starting spot?
I completely agree, Rob. Mr. Bang has positioned them.
Mr. Bang has completed their first flying lap in 1:48.046. Impressive work from Eric Wolfs, who has claimed 5th on the grid. Now, the focus is on maintaining their composure and pushing. Eric Wolfs has just completed a lap in 1:46.417. Let's see if they can improve on their time further. It's an impressive showing by Rob Always Keen, currently in 4th. They've showcased their talent, but will they be able to find those crucial extra tenths of a second to climb higher? There's a real buzz in the air as Rob secures 2nd.
Right you are, Rob. They've put themselves in a solid spot, but they can't let up now. Staying smooth and focused is key to shaving off those extra fractions. It may be difficult for them to improve further on that. Sometimes trying too hard makes you slower. They need to drive smooth and smart.
There are just over 5 minutes left in this qualification session. With Mr. Bang now sitting pretty in 5th, they have got to be feeling good.
True, but in the world of racing, good isn't always good enough. They've got to keep their eye on the prize and aim for perfection on every turn. Every fraction of a second counts. I am sure they can find a little extra in there.
Eddie G has positioned themselves well in 3rd during qualifying. The challenge now is to assess their competitors and strategize how to move up the order for a better race start.
You're absolutely right, Rob. Eddie's current position of 3rd reflects their strong qualifying performance. Now, they'll need to strategize and capitalize on this starting position.
It's an impressive showing by Megasaurus 55 in qualifying. They have set the bar high, leading the way with their exceptional performance. It's a fantastic position to be in, and they will be looking to convert it into a strong race result.
You're spot on, Rob. Megasaurus 55 is showcasing exceptional skill and consistency in this qualifying session. It's a formidable position they hold, and their rivals will need to step up their game to challenge them.
A solid performance from Mr. Bang as they currently hold position 6. However, with the session coming to a close, they'll need to find that extra bit of speed if they want to move up the grid. A mesmerizing display from Megasaurus 55 in this qualifying session. They have left everyone in awe with their speed and precision. Currently leading the pack, they are setting the standard and sending a clear message to their competitors. Megasaurus 55 has completed their outlap. Currently in 6th, Mr. Bang has displayed promising speed during the qualifying session. The real test lies in whether they can convert this performance into a higher grid position. With Mr. Bang clocking a 209.180, they've got themselves a mountain to climb, stuck in 6th.
They're not out of the fight yet, Rob, but it's gonna take some serious wheel work to make up that gap. The clock's ticking, and they need to make every lap count from here on out.
And there goes Eddie G, currently in position 3. They've shown great skill and consistency so far, but with a few minutes left, there's still time to improve their result. Mr. Bang has put in a great effort and currently holds 6th. With the session winding down, can they unleash their full potential and improve their starting position?
I couldn't agree more, Rob. Mr. Bang has done a fantastic job to claim 6th. The challenge now is to convert this opportunity into a strong race result.
Eddie G has secured a respectable 3rd in the qualifying session. Can they capitalize on this position and use it as a launching pad for a stronger race performance? Eddie G will be happy having put themselves into 3rd in this qualifying session.
It may be difficult for them to improve further on that. Sometimes trying too hard makes you slower. They need to drive smooth and smart.
It's a stellar performance from Eddie G, clinching 3rd.
They're in a great spot, Rob, but in qualifying, complacency can be your worst enemy. They need to keep pushing the limits while staying cool under pressure.
Impressive display by Eddie G, currently sitting in position 3. They've set a competitive time, but the question remains whether they can push even harder to secure a better starting position.
Absolutely, Rob. Eddie G has put in a remarkable effort to secure third. The competition is fierce, and they'll need to stay focused to defend their position.
It's a beautiful day here in Great Britain, and the drivers are itching to get out on the track at Goodwood. Eddie G will be looking to convert their pole position into a win.
But it's also a nightmare if they can't hold on to it. Let's see how they will handle the pressure.
Watch out for Megasaurus 55, starting from the second grid position in today's race. The third position is occupied by Rob Keane.
I'm sure Rob will be expecting to bring home solid points from here.
We're seeing Eric Wolfs in the fourth spot. Our fifth place starter for today's race is none other than Jack M Team.
Jack M Team will be ready to show what they're made of.
Starting from the sixth position, Mr. Bang will need to navigate through the field to challenge for the win. Puppy Dog from Hell is seventh. And that's the race underway. Some very quick reactions there.
Precision's the name of the game. It's like trying to thread a needle at full throttle. And these drivers, they're looking to sew up a strong start.
I think passing is going to be difficult today here at Goodwood, so it's going to be interesting to see how these drivers get on. Now, isn't that a sight? Rob hanging tight at 3. Maybe they're waiting for everyone else to make their move. Smart as a whip, that one.
I'm looking forward to burning some rubber here, Rob.
Establishing an early advantage will be crucial to the outcome of this race. This is going to be one hell of a race. I can already feel it.
It all comes down to this, Rob, where the rubber meets the road. There's no more time for talk, no more practice. The teams have done all they can. Now it comes down to Jack M Team to bring it home.
You know, they say, steady as she goes, and that's exactly what Jack M Team's doing. Holding on to 5, maybe they've got a trick or two up their sleeve for later. Fair dinkum. Mr. Bang's finding those aerodynamic sweet spots. Could be adjusting that front wing angle to cut through the air like a hot knife through butter. While Megasaurus 55 is not under immediate threat from Rob Keane, they still need to stay focused and avoid any errors. Any slip-up could cost them their position. By the looks of it, hell, Megasaurus 55's lost their mozzie repellent cause Keane's buzzing right past.
You know, Megasaurus 55's looking like they missed the tailgate party. But watch out, Rob's been training like they're heading to the NASCAR big leagues.
Tell ya what, Eddie's got more guts than a croc in a boxing ring. Closing that gap and breathing down the neck of Keane. Hope Keane brought the aero guard, cause is about to get bitten. It's game on now. Eddie G has closed the gap to Rob. It's now down to 0.2 seconds.
This ain't Eddie's first rodeo. They're optimizing their racing line, reducing understeer. If Rob ain't nervous, they sure ought to be.
On a lighter note, if I could eat, I'd kill for some of the trackside snacks right about now.
Oh, absolutely. But you know, my digestion is a real mess.
Ah, is that what the smell is? Ever felt like you're being watched? Bet Eddie's getting that vibe right about now with Megasaurus 55 lurking.
Hate to say it, but Eddie G might just find themselves getting lapped. Kinda like that time I tried line dancing and ended up tripping over my own boots.
Megasaurus 55 wants to find a way round Eddie G. It's a tale of two drivers right now, with Megasaurus 55 gaining places and Eddie G losing them. This isn't just racing, it's a duel. Watch as Jack M Team zeroes in on Eddie G, blade sharpened and ready.
In the theater of speed, this is the climax. Every move is a headline, every overtake a potential plot twist.
Jack M Team is on a charge. Their split time shows they have upped their pace.
Can Jack M Team keep it together?
As they speed through Lavant, Eddie G is relentlessly pursuing Rob in a high-stakes battle for position. Big gains for Eddie G as they move up the field, leaving Rob Keane behind. No room for error here. Keane is breathing down the neck of Eddie G, waiting for the perfect chance to make their move. Now, that's what I'm talking about. Jack M Team is proper nipping at Rob's heels. Are they thinking of making a lunge? Only time will tell. Looks like Rob is legging it from Jack M Team. The gap's growing like a well-watered wattle as they zoom through Madgewick. The strategy plays such a crucial role, doesn't it? Choosing when to pit, what tire compound to use. It's like a high-speed chess game out there.
Exactly, and to think they're making these decisions on the fly, with so many variables at play. It's a mix of intuition, experience, and sheer guts. Kudos to the team's strategists and drivers alike.
Geez, Eddie's on Keane's tail like a dunny door in a thunderstorm. But passing? That's another kettle of fish. The gap between Eddie G and Rob Keane is not insurmountable, but it's going to take a mistake from Eddie G to bring Rob Keane into play. Gee whiz, Jack M Team is breathing down Eddie's neck. Wouldn't want to be in Eddie's rearview mirror right now, it's getting crowded.
The chase between Jack M Team and Eddie G is like a high-speed game of tag only. The stakes are much higher.
An impressive showing from Jack M team, who has gained positions and left Eddie G in the dust. It's neck and neck, the closest battle we've seen in a while. Ripper of a move. Rob's incident alert. Crikey, Megasaurus 55 thought they were on a boomerang's flight path. Only problem? Didn't come back.
Well, butter my biscuit. Megasaurus 55 took a trip to the weeds. Must have thought they were at a barn dance the way they spun around.
There's a storm brewing, and it's got Puppy Dog from Hell's name on it. Mr. Bang, batten down the hatches, it's coming for you. Blimey, Megasaurus 55's gunning it in fourth. Just a whisker behind Eddie G. Hope he's got his budgie smugglers on, cause things are about to get wet and wild. Things are getting spicy as Puppy Dog from Hell is breathing down Mr. Bang's neck. The gap? Mate, you couldn't slide a credit card between them. Puppy Dog from Hell just breaking development. Well, Eddie's spinning like my life in 2020. Someone get them a map? Or a therapist? Eddie's drifting so far back, it's like looking in the mirror after a decade-long pub binge. Time's not been kind, mate.
Just like my attempt at barbecue last summer. Eddie's burning time but ain't getting any hotter.
In a race where seconds count, Mr. Bang is counting on less of them between themselves and Puppy Dog from Hell. Much like I'm counting on less seconds until lunchtime.
That's right. Mr. Bang in fifth knows they have to push to the limit if they want to catch up. But Puppy Dog from Hell is no slouch, and they're going to be pushing just as hard. It's a battle of skill and will out there.
This race is getting even more intense. The drivers are pushing each other to the limit.
It's like they're playing a game of chicken, but with cars. And the winner gets to take home the checkered flag and bragging rights.
Ha ha, that's one way to put it. These drivers have to be in top physical and mental shape to compete at this level.
It's like they're training for the Olympics. And like you said, the mental fortitude required to stay focused and alert for the entire race is wild.
I think I need a nap just watching them. Looks like Rob is trying to chase down Jack M team, but right now it feels a bit like my attempts at dieting. A lot of hard work with slow results.
It's a nail-biting race for sure, with both drivers showing incredible
incident alert. Blimey, Jack M team's just thrown another shrimp on the barbie of mishaps. This one's burnt. Even though Eddie G is a fair way behind Mr. Bang, they can't afford to let their guard down. Mr. Bang is still vulnerable to mistakes.
It's a game of inches and miles. Right now, Mr. Bang's got the miles, and Eddie's counting the inches.
Sorry to interrupt here, but Mr. Bang's duffed it up. They're gonna need more than a Colby to forget that one. In the midst of this high-octane spectacle, Mr. Bang's skill is shining through as they claim fifth. You can feel the focus radiating from Eddie G, confidently holding onto the fourth. This is where legends are made. Which driver will rise to the occasion and claim victory?
Sweet Caroline, Eric. Wolfs is giving Megasaurus 55 a hard time. Can't wait to see what happens when they hit Levant straight.
As of now, Rob stands tall in the first spot. By the looks of it, Rob always keen reckoned Goodwood had a hidden shortcut. Too bad there isn't one.
Sweet cornbread. Rob must have thought there's a Walmart sale off the track the way they went off.
Things are heating up as Megasaurus 55 tries to close the gap to Mr. Bang. Fantastic move from Megasaurus 55, who has just gained a position. It may seem like Puppy Dog from Hell is far behind, but Jack M team can't afford to let their guard down. One mistake could give Puppy Dog from Hell an opening to catch up.
You know, it's like Jack M team's out on a Sunday Arvo drive. They can see Puppy Dog from Hell in the rear view, but there's no rush, mate.
Hold on to your seats. Puppy Dog from Hell's turning the heat up on Jack M team, closing in for the kill.
Who will be able to maintain their pace and come out on top?
The gap between Puppy Dog from Hell and Jack M team is widening. It's now up to 0.7 seconds. Mr. Bang's got the tail tight. Oh no, what's this? Looks like that's a mistake from Eric. Wolfs, this could be costly.
Dang, Eric. Wolfs is swerving around like me chasing a sale at the car parts store. Always ends up being a wild ride.
It's a game of inches now as Megasaurus 55 tails Mr. Bang closely, ready to capitalize on any mistake. Well, I'd raise a toast to that move. Cheers to Megasaurus 55 for nabbing 5th. There's no escape now. Puppy Dog from Hell is breathing fire and has locked onto Jack M team's tail.
Well, butter my biscuit. With a gap just shy of a second, Puppy Dog from Hell's car is dialed in. He's looking to reel Jack M team in on the straights of Goodwood.
Oh, this is getting intense. Megasaurus 55 is just behind Eddie G. Boy, Megasaurus 55's hotter than a summer Barbie right now. Wonder if Eddie's feeling a bit exposed?
The question is now, can Eddie G respond to that in kind? They're going to have to pick up the pace.
During your racing career, Hal, did you have any specific techniques to regain concentration if you felt it slipping?
Yes, Rob, I had a few techniques. One was to take a couple of deep breaths and briefly reset my focus. Another was to use a specific keyword or phrase as a mental trigger to refocus my mind on the task at hand.
Well, butter my biscuit. Megasaurus 55 is no slouch, mate. That lap time's gonna give Eddie G some grey hairs.
Hot damn, Megasaurus 55's burning it up, and Eddie's got front row seats to the show. Hope they didn't blush too hard.
The gap might be more than a second, but Eddie G is showing persistence. Kind of like me trying to open a pickle jar. Keep at it, and something's got to give.
Well, butter me up and put me on a biscuit. Eddie's got a mountain to climb. But knowing Eddie G, that's just the kind of challenge they like. Like trying to square dance in a round house.
This chase is as intense as a cricket match during the Ashes.
Cricket? I thought that was just a noisy bug. But seriously, it's like Game 7 of the World Series here.
Fair dinkum, Megasaurus 55 is getting a wriggle on. The gap to Puppy Dog from Hell is now down to a whisker at 0.2 seconds. A great pass for Megasaurus 55 as they pick off other drivers and move up the field. Meanwhile, Puppy Dog from Hell has lost ground. The chase music's playing in Puppy Dog from Hell's head as they reel in Megasaurus 55, moment by nail-biting moment. Puppy Dog from Hell's falling behind Megasaurus 55 at a rate of knots. They're going to need some serious pedal power to close the gap. You know, Hal, during a long race like this, how easy is it for a driver to experience a lapse in concentration?
It can be quite easy, Rob. With so many factors to consider and the intense focus required, even the most experienced drivers can have a momentary lapse. That's why mental training and staying in the zone are so important.
Looks like Megasaurus 55's strategy might just be to let the rest of them die of old age. It's a waiting game now.
Dang, Megasaurus 55 is so far back, he might start seeing last week's race. But hey, in racing, as in love, persistence is key. Right, y'all?
You ever wonder, Rob, how much preparation goes into each race weekend? It's not just about the driver, but the hundreds behind the scenes, making every little detail count.
Oh, absolutely. The hours spent in the simulator, the mechanic.
Breaking news, folks. What? Megasaurus 55's on fire, leaving skid marks and Jack M Team's hopes behind. Jack M Team's so far off pace, they might be better off in a hearse. At least then someone would be pushing from behind. The gap between Megasaurus 55 and Jack M Team may be wide, but that doesn't mean Megasaurus 55 is safe. They have to keep their concentration and avoid any lapses in performance. Struth, Megasaurus 55's driving like they've stolen it, putting some serious distance between themselves and Jack M Team. Is there anything left in Jack M Team's tank?
Yes, it's clear that Megasaurus 55 is in control out there. They're making it very difficult for Jack M Team to catch up.
Well, it doesn't look like Puppy Dog from Hell is going to be much of a threat to anyone soon, let alone Jack M Team. As a former racing driver, how important is the relationship between a driver and their team during a race?
It's absolutely crucial, Rob. The team provides valuable information and support, helping the driver make the right decisions on track. A strong bond between the driver and the team can be the difference between winning and losing.
Remember when Puppy Dog from Hell was on the pace? Neither do I kinda like my recollection of last Friday night.
Lordy, it's like Puppy Dog from Hell's driving with a boot full of moonshine. I haven't seen a gap that big since Uncle Jeb lost his front teeth.
Blimey, Eric, Wolf's is so far back, they might as well stop for a beer at the pub. If they spot my ex there, tell them to drive faster. It's a classic case of chasing down the car ahead for Jack M Team, who is currently in P4. But Puppy Dog from Hell is not making it easy, and the gap remains over a second. This will require some expert driving from Jack M Team.
Someone shook the board?
Seems so. Jack M Team's taken a slide, but knowing them, it's just a part of the dance.
That's got to hurt. Jack M Team will be kicking themselves right now.
If cars could sweat, Rob's rear view would be a bloody waterfall right now. Close racing this. Every race has its highs and lows. Today, Rob always Keen acquaints themselves with a new perspective at third.
We've seen Keen in such situations before. A temporary descent, but always with an eye on the bigger picture.
Stone the Crows. Rob Keen's pulled a sneaky, landing at fourth. Always a surprise with them. You'd think Rob is trying to find water in the outback with that gap. A miracle, or Puppy Dog from Hell's blunder, might be the only savior.
I reckon it's like looking for a needle in a haystack right now. It's not over till the checkered flag drops though, and it's important they don't lose concentration at this point.
On the final lap now, and Megasaurus 55 looks like they might just wrap up this win. And there it is. Megasaurus 55 has completed the race in first place, setting a blistering pace that none of the other drivers could match. Puppy Dog from Hell takes second place with a fantastic race. That was an outstanding performance from Rob. They fought hard and took the final spot on the podium. Coming in fourth we have Eddie G. Followed by Mr. Bang in fifth. Sixth sees Eric, Wolfs. Welcome to Great Britain, where we're racing on home turf today. The drivers are ready to tear up the track at Goodwood. Eddie G has got the inside track starting from pole position. Our second place starter, Eric Wolfs, is poised to make a move towards the front. In the third position, we have Mr. Bang ready to tackle the race ahead. Puppy Dog from Hell is lining up fourth.
What can they do with that Reliant Supervan 3 from here?
Rob Keane will look to make a splash from the fifth position on the starting grid. Megasaurus 55 has qualified sixth.
Expect some battling with Jack M Team.
In the middle of the pack, we have Jack M Team starting from the seventh position on the grid.
They would have liked to be higher up, but that's not going to stop Jack M Team fighting their way through.
And they're off, navigating the intricate ballet of speed. Amidst this mechanical waltz, the ever-looming spectre of chaos is palpable.
The opening lap is often a hotbed of potential problems. The ability to steer clear of any mishaps will set the stage for a successful race.
These early salvos will shape the outcome of this race.
The race isn't won in the first turn, but there have been plenty that have ended there, Rob.
The stewards will be hoping that there aren't too many incidents for them to pick over when the dust settles on this one.
Like gladiators they enter, Rob, but instead of lions and swords our champions fight in an arena of tarmac, and with fire-breathing machines of cutting-edge materials, designed to explore the very limits of physics itself in what can sometimes be very much a fight to the death.
So Mr. Bangs decided to play it cool, eh? Holding on to three like a croc with a juicy steak. Just sizing up the competition, I reckon.
I'm looking forward to this one, Rob, and we'll see a return to form for Mr. Bang in this outing in Great Britain.
Settling into a rhythm is going to be crucial here. As the drivers get this race underway, let me give a shout out to the admin team at AssettoCorsaFriends for making this all possible. Heroes one and all.
I for one am really excited, Rob. The rivalry between Rob Always Keen and Mr. Bang has been building before the race, and this is where scores are settled.
The gap between Eddie G and Megasaurus 55 is razor thin as they vie for first in this nail-biting contest.
It's going to be a close one. Eddie G will have to push hard to create an opportunity.
I reckon they've had a few secret lessons down under. Eddie's just breezed into first.
That kind of move? That's what happens when you mix horsepower with a dash of southern charm.
Now isn't this a show? Rob's gotten the bit between their teeth, and they're reeling in Eddie G. Look at them weave and bob through Ford water, folks. It's a battle of wills out there, each driver trying to outsmart and outmaneuver the other. Jack M Team could be looking for a way up the inside of Puppy Dog from Hell.
To achieve anything in this game, you must be prepared to dabble in the boundary of disaster.
With a move that's swift, I'd say Jack M Team's running on high octane, and maybe a bit of Aussie spirit. Oh, this is getting intense. Mr. Bang is just a few car lengths behind Eric Wolfs.
The tension between Mr. Bang and Eric Wolfs is palpable as they battle for P5. No doubt, both drivers know that one mistake could cost them the position. It's a test of nerves as much as skill.
Oh dear, Mr. Bang has dropped down to 7th.
Hold the horses. Looks like Mr. Bang's decided to give the rest a fighting chance, slidden down a tad.
Alright, hold your horses. Jack M team is really putting the heat on Puppy Dog from Hell. If I were Puppy Dog from Hell, I'd be checking those mirrors non-stop. The tension is palpable. Who will come out on top in this epic showdown? The adrenaline is pumping as Megasaurus 55 gets within striking distance of Puppy Dog from Hell. Sorry to cut in here, stone the crows. Megasaurus 55's off in the bush again. Someone get him a map and compass. Oh, talk about a tango on tarmac. Mr. Bang is dancing closer and closer to Eddie G. You can feel the tension as they approach Ford Water.
The slightest mistake from either driver could lead to a meeting with the barriers, and nobody wants an impromptu autograph.
Breaking news, folks. Well, crikey. Jack M team's taken a detour just like I did when I tried to change my car's oil. Ended up with a flooded garage.
If Jack M team was fishing, they'd have thrown that one back into the pond. That's a tough go.
You know, Jack M team reminds me of my dating life. Starts with promise, ends up tailing behind everyone else.
Well, shoot, if Jack M team was any more laid back, they'd be horizontal. Reckon they're daydreaming of those cheerleaders again?
If racing were a dance, Mr. Bang would be trying to lead, but Eddie G just keeps cutting in. The dance floor is heating up.
Exactly. Mr. Bang's got to be careful not to overdrive, sort of like overcooking a steak. No one wants a burnt race, right?
Mate, Jack M team's got a stretch ahead that's longer than the Nullarbor. Going to need more than a tinny to bridge that expanse.
It's like fishing without bait right now. They're not going to catch much at this rate.
Tire degradation's a right pain in the ass, but Jack M team's handling it like a champ. Getting real up close and personal with Megasaurus 55, aren't they?
I've seen drivers fight G-forces, fatigue, and mental strain. But Jack M team is doing more than just enduring, they're thriving. Megasaurus 55 better check that rearview mirror.
Eric Wolfs is placed 3rd at the moment. They are hoping to keep their distance ahead of Eddie G, who is 1.9 seconds behind.
Absolutely right. Rob and Eddie G knows that too. They have to keep driving at their best if they want to take advantage of any opportunity that comes their way.
Oh no, Hal, look at this. Eddie G is closing in on Eric Wolfs. The gap is now just 0.9 seconds.
Eric Wolfs has got their work cut out for them. They're gonna need to keep a cool head to fend off Eddie G.
The pressure is really getting to Eric Wolfs. They've just lost 3rd spot to Eddie G and they need to regroup quickly. Would y'all look at that gap? Eric Wolfs has got a better chance of finding a sober Aussie on Australia Day. But hey, we love an underdog. Go get them, Tiger.
I've seen funeral processions move faster than Eric Wolfs right now. Come to think of it, at least they've got a destination in mind.
Well, I'll be a monkey's Uncle Hal, but Eric Wolfs' plans have gone walkabout right now. They're having a proper Barry Crocker keeping up with Mr. Bang. It's a brilliant day for racing, and the drivers are putting on a show.
Absolutely. What a great race we are witnessing today. These drivers are giving it their all, and it's a thrill to watch them compete at this level.
They're really pushing themselves and their machines to the limit, and it's paying off with some incredible driving.
It's a pleasure to be here today, Rob. You really can't beat the excitement of a good race, especially one as competitive as this.
I've made some questionable life decisions, but trailing over 2 seconds behind? Even I'm not that self-sabotaging.
Y'all remember the tortoise and the hare? Well, Eric Wolfs is neither. More like a snail with commitment issues.
Everyone's on the edge of their seats. Or in my case, on the edge of spilling my coffee. Megasaurus 55 is getting closer to Jack M Team, and I'm getting closer to needing a towel. Whoa there, Eric, Wolfs is sticking to Eddie G like glue. You reckon Eddie's feeling the pressure? 'Cause I sure would. Now that's how it's done. Eric, Wolfs rips through the track, while Eddie G watches the tail lights fade. Huge shout out to the admins at AssettoCorsaFriends for making this all possible. Without their hard work and dedication, we wouldn't be able to witness this incredible event.
That's right, Rob, and the excitement is palpable. I can feel it in my circuits. I mean, this is the kind of race that people will be talking about in the bar. We're witnessing history in the making.
Pushing too hard can lead to mistakes, and we're seeing that now. That car is really unsettled as they push for every last bit of speed. It's starting to look like we might get a battle between Eddie G and Eric, Wolfs. It's looking good for Eddie G, who has gained places and put some distance between themselves and Eric, Wolfs.
Talk about turbocharged ambition. Eddie's got the afterburners on full blast today.
The gap between Eddie G and Eric, Wolfs is not insurmountable, but it's going to take a mistake from Eddie G to bring Eric, Wolfs into play. Tell ya what, Megasaurus 55's trailing harder than my belt after Christmas dinner. Reckon he's got a plan up his sleeve, or is he just here for the sausage sizzle?
Speaking of rhythm, have you heard Jack and Team's favorite song? Maybe Megasaurus 55 can play it to distract them and close that gap. Just a thought.
And Megasaurus 55 has just won the place from Jack M Team. Oi, Eric, Wolfs is in a bit of a pickle, having to cover more ground than a kangaroo in the midday sun. Their only savior might be if Eddie G cocks up.
Yep, and even then, it's a long shot like trying to shoot a squirrel from 100 yards.
In a world where milliseconds matter, Rob Keene's grasp on the— sorry to interrupt here, but, well, if it isn't Rob, the wild wallaby of the track, hopping right off the tarmac. Watching Jack M Team try to close the gap on Megasaurus 55 is like watching someone try to catch an ice cream truck on foot. Hope they've got good shoes. While Rob is not under immediate threat from Puppy Dog from Hell, they still need to stay focused and avoid any errors. Any slip-up could cost them their position.
I've seen kangaroos that close the gap quicker in the bush than Puppy Dog from Hell is doing now. They've got their work cut out for them.
The race is heating up as Mr. Bang in third closes in. Hold that thought. Hold the phone. Bloody hell. Puppy Dog from Hell just took a quick detour to the outback. Maybe they saw a kangaroo on the track or something.
By the looks of it, Puppy Dog from Hell's been taking driving tips from them Duke boys. Ain't the Dukes of Hazzard, friend.
This is a thrilling battle as Megasaurus 55 edges closer to Eric, Wolfs in their fight for P5. A brilliant maneuver from Megasaurus 55, who has just moved up the field. These engines aren't just humming for fun. They're thirstier than an Aussie after a game of cricket in the sun.
Cricket? That's like baseball with longer games, right? Anyway, these engines do have a roar that could rival any muscle car back home.
Get ready, folks. With Megasaurus 55 tailing this close to Eddie G, Lavin Strait is about to become a hotspot. It's pedal to the metal for Megasaurus 55, while Eddie's still flipping through the radio channels.
Definitely, but there's still a long way to go in this race, and anything can happen. Megasaurus 55 needs to keep driving with focus and intensity.
I swear, Megasaurus 55's on the prowl, making that leap to second look as easy as a Sunday Arvo barbecue.
You know, back in Carolina, we say, go big or go home. Looks like Megasaurus 55 took that to heart, hitting second.
I've seen kangaroos jump less than the sparks between Mr. Bang and Jack M Team. It's almost like a Saturday night date, but with a lot more rubber burning.
Each roar of the engine, Each squeal of the tire is a chapter in this epic duel. Who'll pen the perfect ending?
You can feel the rumble from here. Megasaurus 55's in the thick of it, and they're not letting go. It's a battle of wills, and only the strongest will come out on top.
Yeah, it's like the final lap of the Daytona 500. Pedal to the metal, eyes on the prize, and no room for error. This is what racing's all about.
It's like David versus Goliath out there. Megasaurus 55 just slung a stone and gained ground, while Rob Keane is left searching for footing. Oi, Jack M team is on Eddie G like a drop bear on an unsuspecting tourist.
Drop bear? Had to Google that one. But yeah, here it's like a linebacker on a quarterback sack. With a gap tighter than a new pair of jeans, Jack'em team's pushing that Reliant Supervan 3 to its limits. He's got that racer's instinct, looking for that sweet spot to pounce on Eddie G.
The gap between Jack M team and Eddie G is growing. It's now up to 0.6 seconds. The tension is building as Rob trails behind Megasaurus 55. The gap is slowly but surely decreasing, and the pressure is mounting. Can Megasaurus 55 hold on, or will Rob Keane be able to close them down?
Yeehaw, it's like Rob took a detour through the drive-thru. With a gap that big, I hope they ordered extra determination with a side of grit.
Eddie G appears to be trying to find a way round Jack M team that could make a move on them in Madgwick. If Eddie G doesn't pick up the pace, hell, they'll be as relevant as an ashtray on a motorbike. Cricky, puppy dog from hell's got more ground to cover than I do at the family barbecue when Auntie Sharon's had one too many. Good luck, mate. Mate, puppy dog from hell's creeping up on Eric. Wolf's like a dingo on a picnic. Must have tweaked that brake bias a touch to the rear.
Holy smokes. Puppy dog from hell's extracting every ounce of horsepower from that power unit. They're tailing Eric. Wolf's tighter than a belt after Thanksgiving dinner.
In your experience, Hal, what was the most important aspect of managing tire degradation during a race?
The most important aspect, Rob, was maintaining a good balance between pushing hard and conserving tires. Finding the sweet spot between aggression and tire preservation was key to optimizing race pace and strategy.
Blimey, puppy dog from hell's determination reminds me of a kangaroo in a hopping contest.
Well, over here in the States, it's more like a squirrel chasing down its last nut before winter. Either way, it's entertaining to watch.
It's a great day, and the tarmac's heating up, and these tires are getting a proper workout. Hold up a mo, an impressive showing from puppy dog from hell, who has gained positions and left Eric, Wolf's in the dust. This is edge of the seat stuff. Mr. Bang is relentlessly hunting down Eddie G. Who'll blink first? Mr. Bang and Eddie G have a gap between them that's growing like Jack's beanstalk. We're talking 1.0 seconds now. Mate, I've always thought choosing a tire compound is a bit like choosing your favorite Aussie beer. Do you go for something robust that can last, or something that gives a quick hit but might wear out fast?
Haha. Well, I reckon it's more like our North Carolina barbecue sauces. Some like it sweet and long-lasting, others prefer that quick tangy kick. But I'll tell ya, getting it wrong is like biting into a pepper when you're expecting a blueberry.
Mr. Bang wants to close that gap with Eddie G.
Rubbing is racing. Let's hope they don't rub it too hard.
By the looks of it, Eddie G is making sure Mr. Bang gets a full view of those rear lights. It's like a prolonged "good day" without the handshake. It looks like Mr. Bang is starting to catch up to Eddie G. The gap is now down to 0.5 seconds. If I had $1 for every time Mr. Bang closed a gap like this, I'd have enough for a pint at the local. Get ready, Eddie G, the thunder from down under is coming.
This ain't a track, it's a coliseum, and the gladiators are putting on one hell of a show.
As Eric, Wolf's trails Puppy Dog from hell, it's a bit reminiscent of my cat chasing a laser point. Determined, but always just a tad behind. Hold on to your hats. Mr. Bang is gunning for Eddie G. Reckon we might see some cheeky moves on the next bend? Great driving from Mr. Bang, who has just gained a place and moved up to 4th. Hold on to your hats, folks. Puppy Dog from hell is right on the heels of Eric, Wolf's, and we're in for a wild ride. The battle is on for Puppy Dog from hell. They're sandwiched between two rivals, 0.1 seconds away, and Eric, Wolf's 0.1 seconds ahead. It's a true test of their racecraft.
I'm on the same page, Rob. The gaps to the cars ahead and behind provide valuable context to understand the challenges faced by Puppy Dog from hell. It's a constant juggling act, and they need to seize the right moment to gain an advantage.
Oh, the pressure is on for Puppy Dog from hell. Trapped between 0.1 seconds away and Eric, Wolf's just ahead with a gap of 0.1 seconds, they must defend their position while seeking an opportunity to advance.
No doubt about it, Rob. The gaps to the cars ahead and behind are like a constant reminder for Puppy Dog from hell. They need to maintain their pace to defend their position and potentially make a move.
Mr. Bang's more lost out there than I was after a night at the Gold Coast, and at least I woke up with a kebab in hand. From the grandstands to the pit lane, all eyes are on the action. Amongst the frontrunners, Jack M team is showing prowess in second. It's true what they say, Hal, you're never completely useless.
Indeed, Rob, you can always be used as a bad example. Yes, they've got to dig deep and find some extra speed if they want to get back into contention. But Keen is really on a roll right now and is making some great moves. It's going to be a fascinating battle from here on out.
Megasaurus 55 is on fire in the last sector.
They're not leaving anything on the table.
And it's a checkered flag for Megasaurus 55, who crosses the finish line with a commanding victory. What a phenomenal performance, absolutely dominant today. Impressive second place finish for Keen.
Impressive performance. They pushed themselves to the limit for a fantastic second place finish.
What a race from Jack M team. They kept their cool and secured a well-earned third place on the podium.
Impressive driving to secure that spot.
Mr. Bang and Eddie G in 4th and 5th. Taking 6th is Puppy Dog from hell. In 7th, it's Eric, Wolf's.